Coming up next, is your fear telling you the truth? We'll break it down. And then employers, you're going to need to be prepared for new expectations. I break that down as well. And we take your calls, which all starts right now. All right, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. We're coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville, and this show is all about you, specifically your purpose. And we're going to look at your purpose in your work, specifically what you were created to do. Now, everybody asks the question at some point in their life and in some form. The question is, why am I here? What should I do with my life? And the high-level answer is to do what you were created to do, specifically in your work. Because you were created to contribute through your work. A job is not just a thing that you have to do to live. A job should be a role where you use what you do best, your talent, to do work you love, passion, to accomplish results that matter deeply to you, mission. And when talent, passion, and mission are in alignment, well, then you're going to have tremendous joy and purpose in your work, and you're going to be very successful and very satisfied. But that all comes as a result of you filling that significant role. So it is significance in the form of your unique contribution that brings success and satisfaction. So we want to help you figure that out, no matter where you are on the journey. If you're confused or you're clear on what it is, but not 100% sure how to get there, or you're clear on both of those. You know what you're supposed to do. You know how to get there, but maybe finances or family or failure has held you back. I'm your counselor, coach, and cheerleader, all one phone call, here for you because the world needs what you have to offer. 844-747-2577. One quick caveat. I want to make sure you know that if you got a really, really tough situation you're dealing with, maybe a very toxic, abusive situation at work, or you're just miserable, you don't want anybody to know, or you got an opportunity, you don't want to sabotage it, you can change your name and your location. Amanda will do that for you. You guys can have fun with it. and come up with a place you've always wanted to be from. Come up with a name maybe that you always wanted to be called. Have some fun with this. We'll protect your identity because it matters. 844-747-2577. All right, let's talk about fear for a second. Many times in our journey to purpose, fear is lying to us. And there are times where it is protecting us. Now, this is with a big, bold assumption that you people have good heads on your shoulders and you have some common sense. And so you're not going to, have zero clue about what could really harm you. So let's just talk about that first part. There are times where obviously fear protects you from doing something that harms you. And that's what it's there for, right? Don't touch the fire. Don't touch the stove. Don't step off of the ledge. When we get to, around something like that where we feel danger and we can prove that the danger is in fact there, right? The heat, the height, then obviously fear is protecting us. So when we have fear kind of going, stop, don't do this, you're going to incur massive damage. You've got to have the bravery, really, before we step forward. In the face of fear, the bravery to consider, is this in fact something that I need to be truly so afraid of that I turn around and go the other direction? Because that's fear protecting us when we go, oh, I'm stopping, I'm not going to move forward. But there are many times where fear is lying to us and saying, if you move forward, you are headed towards doom. So we use common sense on the verse. What is fear telling me? Can this actually happen? If I step off the ledge of a 4-story building, Joe, my fear is telling me the truth that you will die. Okay, great. This could happen. All right. But if I decide to start a side hustle and fear is telling me that you are going to ruin your financial life and then you will become homeless and live under a bridge and beg for food, fear is not telling you the truth. These are your two extreme examples, but it makes my point for me. So let's put fear on the witness stand is what I like to do. I like to create this courtroom image that we've all seen on TV or movies, and let's put fear in the witness stand. Fear is saying that if I pursue my purpose, I'm going to fail miserably. Beyond recognition, I will not be able to return from failure. Oh, you're going to fail. Fear's telling you the truth there. Failure is a part of the journey, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to fail to the point that there's no return. Fear's lying to you if it says there's no return. Because you're not going to do anything that stupid. Put fear on the witness stand. What's fear saying? My friends are never going to talk to me. My family will disown me. Is that true? I'll never be able to recover. I will ruin my family's future. Is that true? If in fact it's true that the risk is that big, then yes, listen to fear. Slow your roll. Back away. Slowly. So put fear on the witness stand. What's the voice of fear saying? Let's let it out. Let's write it down. Let's look at it. Fear is saying this. Now let's examine it. Is this true? To what level is it true? Could I fail? Yeah. Am I going to fail? Yeah, on some level, probably. Is it going to be catastrophic failure? What's the answer? If the answer is no, then we just walk through this. By the way, this is good to do with somebody else who's objective, has no skin in the game. Write the fear out, talk through it. Sometimes we are so in the middle of it that our fear seems rational. To anybody else, it's irrational. So this is a wonderful exercise. Put fear on the witness stand, write down, get it out of your mind and write it down. Look at it yourself, have some other objective people with no skin in the game at all. But they love you and they'll shoot straight with you. That's the only qualification for that someone. And let's put it on the witness stand. Ask all the questions. Is this true? How true is it? What are the chances? Okay, once we establish the truth, then we act on that. So if in fact fear is protecting us from something we should not do, we go, oh, thank God I didn't act on emotion and do it anyway. I took some time. I slept on it. I got some advice. And now I need to back away slowly. Wow, thankful for that. But if fear is lying to us, then we go, okay, I got to be aware. Where's this fear coming from? And that's not true. And I need to walk forward. And that's where courage steps in. I'm still fearful, but I now know that fear is not telling me the truth. The best example I can ever give this is when a kid decides to eventually jump in off the diving board or jump off the lake and all that, or you know it's safe, your parents are down there, you're in the pool, and you know you're not going to die, but you're still scared. Like your brain is telling you, you are going to get hurt if you jump off the high dive. Now, they don't have high dives anymore, but I remember, Joe and Amanda, when I did my swimming test way back in the 80s, okay, in order to pass your swim test, you had to, the final part of the swim test was jump off of a 10-foot, and it was a concrete platform at the county pool. They don't make those anymore. But it was you had to go up there. It was 10 feet, but it looked like 90.
It looked scary.
Scary, Joe. And you had to jump off. You didn't have to dive, but you had to at least jump off, and then you had to pop up and swim back to the wall, and that was your final thing. Well, 2 summers in a row, I made it to that final thing. I could already swim. I had already passed all the swimming part. This was the last one. Couldn't do it. Got up to the top, got out there, looked over. No, sir, backed away slowly. This is a true story. 2 years, I sulked back to the car in humiliation. Didn't do it. 3rd year, finally jumped off. Still, 3rd year, terrified. Gonna die. I'm going to die right now. I'm willingly going to my death. Now, that's what fear was telling me, but I also knew that wasn't true, which is why I finally, in year 3, jumped off. I survived. That's what I'm talking about. That's as plain spoken as I can get. We got to get to the point where we go, I'm still afraid, but I now know I'm not going to die. And that's where courage steps in. Young Kenny boy got him some courage in year 3. I was still afraid, Joe. Fear was not gone. I wasn't all of a sudden beating my chest up there. Hey, everybody, watch me. I'm fearless. No.
Still had those butterflies.
Oh, man, I might have had a little bit of vomit in the mouth while I was heading down, you know. It was scary stuff. But I had courage, and courage is moving forward in the face of fear. Courage is not this magic spiritual potion that removes fear. No. So I hope that helps some of you today. Dive in. Is fear telling me the truth, or is fear lying to me? It's a game changer, because I got news for you. When you overcome that fear, you're going to have another one. Does anybody think that young Kenny Coleman had no other brushes with fear the rest of his life. No, that was just the first time I actually stepped into fear. And so we need to grow our muscles for handling fear. And this is a great process for you. Hope that helps. 844-747-2577. Come up a little bit later. We got some fun momentum stories on this Monday. So excited to get to those as well. But first, Orlando, Florida, where I'm guessing it's now hotter than the surface of the sun. Robert joins us there. Robert, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, great talking to you.
Good to talk to you.
I remember, unfortunately, a couple of times landing on my back when I dove off those diving boards. But,
yeah, isn't that awful?
I was better for it.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. All right, what's going on today?
I've been working from home since March of 2020 and getting ready to go back to the office.
Okay.
And one of the things that we were going over was protocol. And I guess the big thing is vaccinations, and I just want to premise it by saying that I think it's a good thing that people were able to get it, and I think overall it's doing a great thing for the country, for those who are fearful and of getting sick and those who are vulnerable. However, that being said, I haven't gotten it and don't plan on doing it yet. However, I was told that if I do go back and not vaccinated or show no proof of it, then I would have to wear a mask and be social distancing. I did feel a yearning in some sense that maybe not this year, but maybe next year, maybe it would be a good time to start looking, especially with the post-pandemic, bounce that's about to happen with a lot of people looking to leave. And I just thought it would be a good time to try looking for another job. And I just thought this was maybe the extra push that would give me a chance to go out there and start looking.
Yeah. Is there a question for me? Because I think you have to do what your heart's telling you to do. I think you have to decide what's important to me. And if this is the push, you're already feeling that, and this is the push, then I'd listen to that. I have no problems with anything you just said. None at all.
Okay, great. And I think you answered the question. Thank you very much, Ken.
Yeah, you bet, man. Absolutely. I got a call from a family member on this very issue. A couple weeks ago, I got a call. Hey, it's possible, because I'm a state employee in the state where they live, that state employees are going to have to get vaccinations in order to keep employment. What do you think I should do? And I said, well, what are you leaning towards doing? I don't get to make these decisions for you folks. I can certainly weigh in on it. So I said, where's your heart? Because a quick delineation on this, when I say follow your heart, that's not always about passion and joy. It's about conviction. And I'm not making this a spiritual issue. I'm just saying the word conviction is just, this is what I believe and why I believe. It doesn't have to, it could be political, it could be spiritual, it could be a physical issue. You just have a very strong stance on this. Okay. So the family member said to me, there's no way, I'm not doing it. I don't trust it. I'm worried about some of the harmful effects. And yet, folks, look, everybody's got a different opinion on this vaccine. Okay. I'm not, by the way, an anti-vaxxer. I feel the need to call this out. All right, my kids have all been vaccinated. Okay. I get them vaccinated for things I think they need to be vaccinated for. All right. So all that said, I said, look, I think you got to do what you believe is right. Which way are you leaning? And the family member shared with me their position. And I said, great. So start preparing. Because the family said, hey, I don't feel comfortable medically. I have no problem with the vaccine and anybody else taking it. I'm just not sure I trust it. It's very similar to what Robert said. They're not anti-vaxxers, and they're trying to be respectful to everybody. They just don't feel comfortable taking it. And by the way, it's a huge population of America right now that's kind of going, thanks, but no thanks. So this is going to happen. I don't think it's going to be widespread, but it's going to happen. So again, if that's you, and you don't feel comfortable, I don't think you're a bad person for going, I don't like being forced to do that, and I'm not going to do that. So what do I do, Ken? Well, you need to come up with a plan. It'd be just like anything else. When you were asked to do something you don't feel comfortable doing, and if that's the sign on the wall, it's time for you to leave, then leave. Leave well. Don't criticize anybody. It is what it is. Interesting times we live in. 844-747-2577 is the number. Let's go to Ogden, Utah, where Ray joins us. Ray, you're on the Ken Coleman Show. All right, Ray, you there?
Yes. Hey, hello, Ken. How are you today?
I'm living the dream. What are you doing, Ray?
Oh, not much. Just basically was looking over my resume the other day, and I was preparing some questions for potential job interviews, and I was listening to you and Dave talk about finding jobs with soul, and it kind of brought up the question that I was trying to research. What questions should I ask to try to find a job that has soul, that matches my personality, that is going to be a good fit, and trying to figure out just if I can make it into a long-term career?
We got a lot of different things you just wove into that question. If you're trying to figure out if the company's a good fit for you, this is going to come down to two things: values and culture. Okay? So I can highlight some of these, and let's see if that's scratching your itch here. So from a value standpoint, how do they value their team? Let's talk about the people they hire. So do they develop? And what I mean by develop, they do training, not just training for the actual job, but they do ongoing development. So they really want to see their team improve, not just be qualified to actually do the job, but they want to continually develop them. Okay. So that could be anything from exercise benefits to, food, nutrition. I mean, they're just pouring into their people because they want their lives to be better. That's what I mean by valuing their people. Do they promote people? That's the other part of valuing people. So develop and promote. Does this company have a history of developing and promoting their people? Okay. And then I would look at the way that they treat customers, the way they treat vendors. Just what's the overall shared behaviors like? Is it an intense place? Is it a chilled out place? Is it a fun place? So culture and values being also tied to the product and service. Do you connect to it? You go, hey, the product or products or service or services that this company provides, I have a deep personal connection to it. So that's what you're looking at. Is that answering what you're asking?
No, it certainly does answer that. It's something that every veteran, including myself, that's what we look for is value. That's a good reminder.
Oh, good. Thank you for your service. Where did you serve?
I served in the Navy.
Great.
I was overseas in Japan for a long time, actually.
Fantastic.
In Yokosuka, actually.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for your service. You're a great American. I am both my grandfathers served in the Navy prior to World War II, so that's really cool stuff. Well, listen, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the culture and values to see if it aligns. So you go, I like it in here. I like the air in here. And I gave you the specifics on what you're looking for. And I think when you do that, it passes the smell test. And then hey, this is a place where I feel like I belong. Because there are some places, like really good companies, by the way, that you do what I just told Ray to do. And that smell test comes back and you kind of go, this is not for me. It's not for me. By the way, it takes tremendous maturity to do what I just said. It does. You got to be mature. Because some people just look at it as a job, instead of going, wait, you know what? I've worked long enough, or maybe I haven't worked long enough, but I want to make sure I don't step into a place where it's just not a good fit. And that's just going to complicate the whole process and sometimes confuses us. Folks, I talk to more people who are confused about their professional path and their sweet spot. They actually know what it is, but they've gotten confused by a really bad work experience. And again, life is life. We can't just, press a magic button and not deal with difficult people or have difficult experiences. But we can certainly eliminate the possibility of more of it happening by choosing a really good company culture. And you're just going to have less junk happen. And so you can be intentional there. So really interesting stuff. Really good question so far. Let's go to Jennifer next in Phoenix, Arizona. Jennifer, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. What's up, Jennifer?
So I'll just tell you, before the pandemic hit, I was living in New York City and I was working for an investment firm as an executive assistant. And I had done some coaching and decided to make a transition. And so I moved out to Phoenix to be closer to my family. And I've taken 3 jobs since last August, and each one of them has been terrible. And I'm in the 3rd one right now, and I went back to an executive assistant job, and I'm overwhelmed.
Why?
And my family says I need to hold out for another year here.
Why?
I have 13 years. They said because I jumped 2 times within the last year, but they weren't the right fit. And this isn't either. And I'm
Well, I think that's
so
great.
anxious
I
for
think
20.
that's great that they're looking out for your professional resume, but I'm not sure they understand how this feels. What's this doing to you emotionally and physically?
I can't focus at all. And I just feel drained all the time. And I feel,
Yeah, you think you can do this for another year?
I don't know if I can do it for another 2 weeks.
That's what I thought. Okay, so let's dig in here. Let's dig. What's the common denominator, or 2 or 3, in all 3 of these gigs? Besides you. Let me go ahead and tell you, you're one of them. So we're going to circle back to that. But I'm trying to help you identify, because I don't want you to just hop to the next thing. I want us to learn something. I'm guessing you've learned something. What are the common denominators besides you that's causing misery in these 3 jobs?
You know, I think the first one, it was the CEO's wife was holding a power trip over me.
Okay, that's one.
And I just said I wasn't going to deal with it. The second one, I was completely overwhelmed. It was a senior legal analyst role, and I didn't know the computer systems, and there was no training. And so I basically had to learn it by myself, but I had just no passion for it. So
okay, so we've got a people problem in the first one. We've got a training problem and a passion problem in the second one. But even if they had trained you, my guess is you would have gotten sick of that pretty quick, even if you weren't drowning. True or false?
Pretty much, I think so.
Okay.
True, my passion wasn't there.
All right, what's going on with the third one?
The third one is the CEO is completely toxic, and
how? Describe toxic to me.
If you don't get it on the first attempt, he just flips out. And if he thinks just because you send something right at that moment, it's supposed to be done, but he's loading up 30 other things on you at the same time and wants all of those done.
And you're his administrative assistant or executive assistant?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And I have 5 other people pulling at me too. And it's doing new leads, accounting, just day to day. It's more than just being someone's assistant. And so I'm completely overwhelmed.
Okay. So what would you do? I mean, you've listened to my show enough to where you're like, I'm going to call Ken. Yep. I need help. So you know enough about me to know where I'm taking you. So let's talk about where we need to go. Let's pause on all 3 of these yucky circumstances, and let's just talk about where we want to go. Where do we want to end up?
Well, I just want to be in a job and an environment that supports me.
I get that. Everybody wants that.
And
I'm saying
that
what
I can be happy.
I get it. What kind of work do you want to do?
Well, I thought I wanted to change out an executive assistant role, and that's why I took an analyst role. But then I got into that, and I just...
Wait a second. Wait. You're still not answering my question. And I'm pressing you on purpose. I'm really trying to shake you. I know you're going through a lot right now. I'm trying to get you to just say what it is that you would love to do. What would you do if I placed you in a new gig today? I pulled you out of this awful situation, and I put you... What kind of work do you want to do? Forget title. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Describe it. Forget job title.
I want to make the place better. I want to see things that are broken and fix it and create a new process. I want to be involved in the day-to-day operations of the company.
Okay, so
That's
there we go. Now I'm getting somewhere. Now we're getting, that was Jennifer had a backbone. Did you hear how strong you sounded? You changed. Your whole physiology changed right there on the phone. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the point. You have the talent of inspection because you can analyze things and see what's going on. You've got the talent of organization. You probably got the talent of logic, and you got the talent of execution. Does that sound about right?
100%.
Okay, so that means that you love the work of analyzing on some level, right? Planning on some level, solving system issues, okay?
Yep.
And finishing stuff. Knocking a list out gives you juice.
Yeah.
All right, so that means that your top 2 missional results, I'm filling in your own assessment for you, is efficiency and solution. If you're driving efficiency through solution, you're a happy camper.
Right.
Okay, so I don't think that you're in the wrong type of roles, although I don't think administrative assistant is that. I think that and I'm not even sure the data analyst role was there either, because that's just sheer analyzing. I think you want to be involved in execution. Some analysis, yes, but higher levels of organization and solution. I just think you're doing that kind of work where I've got to organize and plan and execute. I think that's huge. So I don't want you to overthink this. You got to do more homework on the front end when you go and do these interviews. You got to do some homework and try to talk to people who work there or who have worked there and get a sense of what the organization is like. Feels like you got a little bit of bad luck. The CEO's wife. I'm going to challenge you. You don't have to answer this on the air, but here's your homework assignment. Did you allow the CEO's wife to make it personal, and did you quit too soon? You do not have to answer that on the phone. But could you have adjusted? Could you have dealt with that? Did you leave too soon? The data analyst role, that wasn't a sweet spot role for you, so you leaving that, fine with that. Now you got this current situation where, again, you got a leader who's just dumping a lot of stuff on you, and an executive assistant role is not the thing either. So I would sit tight. I know you don't think you can handle it for 2 more weeks. You can. I think you need to learn a valuable lesson here and say, part of me learning here, a little bit of my punishment and choosing wrong is I need to stick this out a little longer until I find something else. But this idea that you're a job hopper and people aren't going to want you, I got news for you. If there was ever a good time in America to job hop, now's the time. We have 9.3 million jobs that are open. And what you got to do is not throw the current company or other companies under the bus, but just go, you know what? I was looking for the right operations role, and I took these roles because I'm a gal who will get in and work their way up. And each time I did this, a better opportunity came my way, and I was testing out. Now I know it's this type of role, and I'm going to come in and do this. But you got to do your homework on the culture, and then you're going to have to be okay with difficult people. You know, there is no office where there's no difficult people. And by the way, difficult people does not mean toxicity is in place. Can we just take a chill pill on slapping toxic bumper stickers on everything? I mean, at some point, I'm in the middle of teaching my kids right now, look, dealing with difficult people is part of the deal. Sometimes you're the difficult person, by the way. So don't overthink this, Jennifer. Make the right move into the right position, and I think you're going to be fine. Speaking of moving, now, Jennifer, you know why Jennifer's family said, don't make a move, stick this out for a year? Because they have an experience like I have and you have that job searching is awful. It sucks. That's why I partnered with ZipRecruiter.com. Instead of sending 50 resumes out on LinkedIn and all the other things that you're trying to do, make those personal connections that I've been teaching you to do. But if you really want somebody to work for you, go to ZipRecruiter.com. Their technology and their database makes them the #1 job site in the world. Here's what they do. One click at ZipRecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter.com, one click. You fill out a profile. They begin to actively match you to companies that have job openings in their database. And then the company sees you. If the company's interested in you getting an interview with them, they contact you directly. Now you're in. Now you go to KenColeman.com and get the How to Win the Interview. Get my resume guide and go. Why wouldn't you use ZipRecruiter? It's free. The companies pay them for you, the talent. ZipRecruiter.com. One click. Take the suck out of the job search. They know what they're doing. ZipRecruiter.com. Candidates on ZipRecruiter 3 times more likely to get hired. Go today. I believe in them. That's why I am endorsing them. They've got a system and it works. The numbers don't lie. ZipRecruiter.com. All right, when we come back, we've got some great Monday momentum updates. Plus, what you need to be expecting, because what everybody else is expecting out of a job. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we're shielded through faith and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
Welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. I was just talking about my friends at ZipRecruiter and why you need to be working with them. They're another great tool to help you stand out. And I said, go to the website, kencoleman.com, after that, and make sure that resume is really updated and looking like it needs to. Resume templates is what we're doing now, folks. The Ken Coleman Show, we're getting into the resume game because we put out a free resource 2 years ago and the thing's gone bananas. So now we've taken that one template where we flip the resume. It looks different than any other resume out there because we flip the order. And why do we do that? Because recruiters and hiring managers spend an average of 7.4 seconds on initial resume screening. Are you kidding me? 7.4 seconds? You better stand out. So for $9.99, you're going to get 6 customizable resume templates based on my version of the resume, instructions on how to build that resume. Plus, I write on 10 do's and don'ts of job applications. So that's all for $9.99. KenColeman.com/store. All right, one of the things we did this several months ago, and we love it. We said, hey, you folks, you don't have to be in the dream job to call in and do your dream screen, which you can do that if you stepped into the dream job. But we said, if you're making momentum, email us, ask@KenColeman.com, or reach out to me on Instagram at Ken Coleman, DM me, and we'll collect the stories of momentum. Just could be the smallest step of momentum, but I want other people to hear from you and your victories. So we call it Momentum Monday. Joe, here we go. Yeah, I like that, Joe. You know what that is? You could see the person with a little bit of swag walking into that music. I like that. It's Momentum Monday. Check out Steve. He says, hey, Ken, I thought you might love hearing about our local town had a multicultural family center teen career fair for disadvantaged kids. And we had a booth there, and we had your career clarity guide out on the table, walking kids through talent, passion, and mission. And it was really fun to see the light bulbs going. Thank you, Steve. That's good stuff. And then Kayla writes in on Instagram, 6 months ago, I would listen to your show completely confused about what direction to go. Now, I'm taking classes and making connections with a clear vision of where I'm going. Way to go, Kayla. And then Craig writes in, so I used your techniques for my job search, ended up with a new position and a 54% increase in pay. I'm pretty happy right now. I'll bet you are. That's fantastic. I love that. So if you'd love to send in your momentum story, just as simple as those right there, really fun stuff. Ask@KenColeman.com. Put in momentum. And also you can reach out on Instagram, Facebook for that matter, the Ken Coleman Show on Facebook, or Twitter @Ken Coleman, @Ken Coleman on Instagram. By the way, we are approaching 100,000 followers on Instagram. So if you're not joining the party over there, we have fun, but we're giving you a lot of practical goodness. As you're scrolling through the gram, I'm going to equip you, encourage you, and entertain you. So I don't know why you're not joining us. That's going to be big. Joe, you know what we need to do? And there's no way to know this because I don't think Instagram tells you like the number count, but it would be really fun if you were the 100,000th follower. And that means we'd have to sign you up on Instagram just to follow me. and if you were the 100,000th follower on Instagram, Joe, it would be, I don't know. I don't know that I could talk. I'd be so verklempt.
I'll do my best.
Consider it, Joe. You won't have to follow anybody but me.
It's a deal.
That would be so fun. Oh, I love it. All right, guys. It's, we have some new trends here to get to. It's time for In the News. All right, Americans are rethinking their work expectations, and employers need to be prepared. This is an article from Go Banking Rates, and this is a study from Prudential. And they are highlighting a piece of data I've already shared on this show. I love when new articles come out with data that I'm already about 10 days ahead on. It makes me feel good. for you people. I am a man of the people. Don't you all forget that. You understand what I'm saying? Sleep easy knowing that Ken Coleman is on the wall, looking out for you folks. 53% of Americans would switch to a role in an entirely new industry if they had the opportunity to retrain. We talked about this, I don't know, a week or two ago. So here's what's happening. Companies are looking for talent, and with everybody starting to go, hey, this may be a good time to change. More on that in just a second. It's going to get really competitive. So employers are going to get really competitive in offering signing bonuses, more for the position than they traditionally would pay, training opportunities, flexibility, added benefits. I'm telling you, it's about ready to become a bidding war, folks. So Prudential did this Pulse of the American Worker survey, post-pandemic work and life. Expectations from the American workforce shows that half of those surveyed said the pandemic has given them more control in deciding the direction of their career. No, it hasn't, but I love that this is what people are saying. You know what that should have said? The pandemic has given me more confidence in deciding the direction of my career. Because here's the reality. Nothing gives you any more control. Control is an illusion. But confidence? Oh, yeah. People are sitting at home. They sat home for a year or 6 months or... By the way, for the record, I didn't sit home at all during the pandemic. I broadcasted live every day.
Yes, we did.
We had a skeleton crew. I think it was, 20 of us in the building? And everybody else was at home in their sweatpants eating ice cream. Yours truly was in here with the crew busting it. I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else. I am once again proving to you that I am a man of the people. And I could not work from home. I would lose my ever-loving mind. I love my kids and my doodle, but I need separation. I need several hours away. You understand what I'm saying, Joe? All right. Let's see. I'm joking. The real reason is because I can't focus. There's too many things to do at home. I get up to go to the bathroom and I see 3 things I need to do that have nothing to do with work. That's the real reason. And I'd never get anything done. And it's sort of the teenagers at home, too, if I'm being honest. Pray for Stacy. Let's see here. The talent migration has several factors involved because a lot of people are going to move. Here's why. I love this. This is direct data. Compensation is the first reason. That's 50% saying compensation is why I want to move. Now, let me just tell you something. That's temporary because the data over time shows that people would prefer the opportunity for growth, not just financial growth, but professional growth. But right now they're going, hey, there's 9.3 million positions open right now. Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to the bank, baby. 50%. Second is work-life balance challenges. That's 38%. And that's a lot of people, as I've reported on this show, people going, I want the remote-only job. So I'm willing to do something different. Primarily because I want to work from home. I kind of dug it. I don't ever want to go back. Let's see. And then 34%, lack of growth opportunities. That's what I just said. It's not about money all the time. It's about the opportunity to grow and enhance my skills and thus take on greater challenges. We humans are creatures of progress. And finally, 23% are tired of working on the same things. So very interesting. So what does that mean? I want to talk to leaders about this, employers. And those of you that aren't necessarily in charge of the whole company, but you're in charge of people. You better understand there's a massive shift going on here. And if you want to attract and retain people, you had better have a growth plan in mind. And it can't be the 3% annual raise. It can't just be a really awesome commission structure. It better have some development in it. Training, ongoing education and learning, the opportunity to grow, and then the opportunity to do. Once I've grown, I want the opportunity to step up. You had better have a vision for their future, or else you're not going to keep them. I'm just going to tell you, it's not about money. It's about meaning, and it's about money attached to meaning. They want to earn it. They want an opportunity to grow. And the minute they feel like they're stagnant and they've hit a lid, they are looking, baby. And you better realize it. This is no joke. All right. Ignore that at your own risk, folks. Change is coming. Hey, before I go, you matter. You do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.